Good morning, everyone. This is Mike Yurigan with Golf Brevard. We're at Spencer Holland this morning and just left Habitat, and it's Hurricane Idalia is coming in, obviously, as you all know, through the Gulf, and we're not quite sure what the path is going to be. So we just everybody stay safe, and we'll on our social media pages and everything. Caleb will keep everybody apprised on what we're going to be doing here in case the storm changes or affects us in any way. Hopefully it'll fizzle out and just be some rain and some wind over there. Just give you a couple of updates. We're finishing up with the painting here at Spencer. You can probably see in the background. We've had a couple of issues with some of the AC and some of the hood up on the top, and that'll all be replaced soon. So we're trying to get things done this summer, get ready for the season with hopefully the weather will break a little bit. This morning it's you can feel the breeze is coming out of the southwest, and obviously that's because of the storm. So just keep your eye on the emails and everything. And Caleb had sent out an email this morning and just kind of update you on what we're going to try to do here if the weather does affect us again. So depending on how much or how long it takes him to edit this and then get it out to you. So just everyone, please stay safe and be smart out there. Golf courses are doing great. We just finished up the airification here at Spencer Holland. We're pretty excited about the winter going into next year, May and June, when we do redo the greens. As we talked about, we're going to resod them. So our downtime will only be about 2 months, give or take, again, with the weather conditions. This summer, we verified 3 times at both golf courses here in Habitat. And this last airification with the heat and everything, it's in the weather. July, we had about 17 inches of rain between, the 2 courses, a little bit more actually at Habitat. This month in August, it hasn't, obviously it's been dry again. So it's been a hit or miss when it comes to the afternoon showers in August. So what happens when we have the excessive heat and we lower the height and we try to get the speeds up that we're all comfortable with, what happens, overcast skies, a little bit of rain, things that happen, we get some disease. We had some disease pop over here at Spencer. Dan sprayed several times, and I think we've got it under control. We're top dressing, we're rolling, and in another week or so, these will be back to normal. And Habitat's recovering also with the heat over there. The greens are a little different grass. We have the Champions Bermuda over at Habitat. So anytime you airify, you have the heat, the root structure it comes up, gets high. You have to be, just have to be very, very careful. And then if the disease hits and things happen like that, this time of year it's pot luck, depending on conditions. So, I think the guys have done a fantastic job. Jamie and Dan have done a great job getting the golf course to a condition. The weed control is great. You come over to Spencer and you look at some of the areas that were all bare grass and or weeds, and now we've got Bermuda growing. Same thing at Habitat. So this 5-year process that we've been in, we'll have an anniversary coming up on September 1st of our 5th year that we talked about in the past. It's a process. It takes time. We try to gradually do these things as we go. But I'm very pleased with the conditions and where we are and ready for the winter. And that's what the summertime is. It's those preparations to get ready, because when the grass starts slowing down and doesn't grow and we have a lot of cart traffic or whatever, we try to keep the carts away from the greens and tees just so that we don't have the wear spots, because the grass just doesn't recover in the wintertime, as you all know. We'll be looking at some irrigation issues that we have at Habitat, and it's not with the system, is that when they put the lines in, we hit some of our drainage, and so we've got some drainage issues on some holes that we've never seen before. So we know that the sock pipe and everything that's underground was hit, and then we'll do some repairs, and we're going to try to work on some areas over there, especially on the front 9. Number 2 is a problem, as you all know. 6 a little bit, 8. So as we go through the winter, you might see us out putting some new drainage in there. Spencer, we only have a couple areas of concern. 17 in front of off the tee box, number 1 a little bit, and obviously 18 we're going to fix next summer where we have the low area and raise that up and put some drainage in there. So we've got a lot going on, and again, we want to thank you all for your support. And I thought I'd give a little tip on chipping today. We'll kind of run right into that. Most of us lose our strokes if you're hitting the ball at least off the fairway a little bit or off the tee. You can knock it up towards the green. So what I thought we'd do today is that I'd show you, I've got an A wedge, which is at 48 degrees. I have my 52 degree wedge and my 56. So what I do when I do practice, in between whatever's going on at the golf course or playing a little bit, I'll come out to the chipping or putting green, and what I do is I have my Chrome Soft golf balls with the triple track on there, and what I'll do is I'll hit my 3 wedges, and I'll start out with less loft, which is the A wedge, which is 48 degrees, and I'll put the golf club down, and I'll get my scoring lines, the grooves on the club, perpendicular to the lines on the ball. So when I set it down, I know that I'm setting up square. You can see the club is slightly ahead of the ball. Hopefully you can see that. I'm sure you can. So if you open the club, you'll see a lot of golfers will open the club face and their hands will go behind the ball, and you'll get a lot of skulls, or you'll hit the ground behind the ball and you'll top it. That's because when you open it, you don't want to open the club face and have the hands go behind. You want to open the club face and leave the shaft in the same position. So all you're doing is square, open it. You can open as much as you want, and obviously now your scoring lines are going to be pointing, almost at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock over here relative to 12 o'clock. And when you take the club back, if you take it back straight and you come through, you have to maintain that same angle as you go through. The ball will pop up in the air. It'll be nice little subtle chip and run. It'll go a little higher than normal. So the whole concept is, if you get creative, you want to go with, okay, here's my 48 degree wedge. Then I go to my 52. I don't have to do a lot of manipulation in the club. Set it down square. Now I've got 4 degrees more loft. Ball's going to go a little higher with the same swing. Then I go to the 56 degree, same thing. Make the same little railroad tracks swing, straight back, straight through. Might have to hit it a little harder because the ball's going to go up in the air. Obviously it hits the green, it's going to stop. So that's what I do with my 3 wedges. I'll practice club face setup, perpendicular lines on the ball. I know where I'm going because I've lined it up at the hole. When I set my feet, what most golfers do is they start getting into a lot of manipulation. Don't do that. Mess with this and see how it helps you hit the ball straighter when you're chipping. Club face behind the ball. I take my right foot, I don't open it. A lot of golfers I see close it, and then they come across the ball and the ball goes way to the left. Chipping inside my foot is same with the scoring lines on my club face. So I know if I now want to put the ball back in my stance more, if I want to put it more in the middle, I'm not changing this position. All I'm doing is moving that right foot, and then, if you want to put your left foot over here or wherever you want to put it where you're comfortable. So now if I do widen my stance out with my front foot, now my weight's going to go forward, and now I'm going to, hit down on the ball more. So I take my 52 degree, I'm going to do the same thing. Find that natural spot where the club gets at the bottom of the arc. Tiger Woods, when he was playing his best golf, was one of the best chippers and pitchers of the ball because he knew the bottom of his arc. When he was struggling and he had his back surgery, he came back and they said he had the yips. He was yipping his shot. So what he practiced on was his setup to try to find where the ball position, front, back, middle, to try to find the bottom of the arc when you do. So take that little practice swing. You can see that's the back and bottom of my arc. I'm heading 4 inches behind the golf ball. So I've got to make an adjustment. My adjustment is a little bit of maybe back in the stance, and I'm going to make my little straight back, straight through. You'll see the lines on the ball. They roll perfectly square. Ball went up in the air about 5-6 feet. Yeah, maybe not quite that high. Now I'm going to do the same setup, everything the same way. Take my practice strokes, There's the bottom of my arc. I feel pretty good. I make a subtle adjustment on my setup. Right foot square. Put my left foot a little bit more forward. Make the same little chip shot. It's pretty simple. If you get into the right setup, you should be able to execute pretty easily. It's not that you're trying to do more than the other. Still driving the tractor, trying to get on the TV here. So when you get in these situations, you'll see a lot of big swings. Really try to complement that by having shorter, more compact stroke together. You can see the shaft and the head are not getting away from me. I'm controlling it. I'm controlling my setup. I'm controlling my direction, club face, all these different spots. And what I'll do a lot of times is I'll practice right-handed or left-handed. You can see the motion's the same whether I'm right-handed or left-handed. So then I put both hands on it. Sometimes I'll use my putting grip, and that'll take some pressure off my grip. Did that a couple times yesterday. Played in an event yesterday and almost chipped 2 in by using my putter grip because it takes some pressure off in the rough or whatever. So practice in the heavier grass, practice in the good, perfect, setup there. I didn't want to hit a bad shot, so I put it in a better lie here. But just try those little subtle things. 7, 8, 9 irons, you can practice with your pitching wedge, one of the clubs that you feel more comfortable with. But try the setup routine and see if it helps. And then maybe manipulate the ball position a little bit and see what the difference is. But if you can find the bottom of that arc when you chip, and then I start making a bigger swing and I do the same thing, I want it to go higher and farther, you're going to have a lot more success with your short game. Well, I appreciate it. Everyone stay safe. Hope Cable can get this out a little quicker today than we normally do, but we'll keep you abreast of what's happening with the storm here for us and how it's going to affect us. But we hope you continue to come out and support Habitat Special Holland, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.